Hello, and welcome to another episode of Navigating Through Life. And just a little side note, I've decided to change the channel name from Navigating Through Divorce to Navigating Through Life because everything that we were covering is things that you need to know in regular life, not just with divorces as well. So today I would like to introduce someone who's a personal friend and also my beautician, Elzet Gerber van Dijk. Woo! Elzet is a beautician and she has her own salon. What do we call it? A salon or a spa? Salon.
Yeah, more salon vibes. Because it's all machinery, almost on a medical level, not into the massage field, more into needle, blood, all of those nice little things,
Not your normal beautician. She does things that are hardcore. And her salon is called Precision Beauty and Vitality. Did I say that correct?
Yes.
I will have a link to her website in the bottom of the comments. And as Elzet said, she specializes in things like permanent makeup, which are needles, also the removal of tattoos, which is like the opposite of needles, but it's like
also needles.
Also needles. Oh, there we go. So
also needles.
If you're into needles and beauty, Elzet is your person. And the reason why we have Elzet here today is a week ago, I went to visit Elzet and I had permanent eyeliner done on my eyes, on my top lid and on my bottom lid. It's a week later. This is what I look like today. And I'm a person.
Take off your glasses so we can see. Look into the camera.
I'm a person.
Yeah, beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. You would say it's beautiful because you did
it. Of course. It's my work.
Your work. You're like an artist. And I'm a person who puts on eyeliner every single day of my life. I don't leave the house. I feel like I look bland if I don't have it on. You know how it feels. Like almost look like you're sick. And that's the reason why I wanted to do this, is that if there is a time where you don't have time to quickly like put on a stroke of eyeliner or go through the whole thing, it's there already. Also, you don't wake up in the morning and you look like Alice Cooper or like you're going to sing a black metal rock band because, the makeup is running down your face, because it's permanent. It's like a tattoo. So I would like to discuss that today. And I would like to discuss the methods and how it's done and what it felt like for me. And Elzet's going to explain to us the process. And I think, Elzet, you should start first and explain the procedure to us. I'm saying procedure like it's a hospital thing, but it is quite an intricate thing that you do. I mean, there's methods and experience, and you've done loads of training. This isn't something someone's just going to pick up a tattoo gun and say, cool, I'm going to tattoo your eyelids. So please explain to us how we do this thing.
Okay, so I do want to say, unfortunately, these days, there are artists out there that do pick up the tattoo pen and just go and tattoo an eyeliner. So first advice for clients is to actually go and do some research on the person that is going to do that procedure for you, to make sure that you are not one of the culprits that end up on the bed and there is no consultation beforehand. The consultation is the most important part of the procedure because, as you all know, our taste of eyeliner is different. Some, like if I take Chantal, for instance, she likes a little bit of a cat eye. Some people like a thick eyeliner, some like thin liner so that it's almost just like a lash line that you tattoo. So at the beginning where we do the consultation, I will design before the time. and we will play around with it to see, what design looks nice by the client. Does a cat eye fit you? Does a small, thin little eyeliner fit you? So we first play around, we draw with a normal eye pencil and see, and only until the customer feels comfortable with what they see, that's when we take it to the next step of numbing.
So my question is, if you get a client who comes to sit in your salon, and this person isn't a person who regularly wears makeup, and now suddenly they want permanent eyeliner and they want a cat eye. I mean, that's quite bold. That's risky.
Yes,
It's
I
it's permanent. Do you know what you're doing? I mean, cat eyes are beautiful. I would like to put cat eyes on everyone in the world, and we could all be one big happy family. But it's so risky to,
mm,
and I mean, like you say, sometimes it looks a bit too thin, sometimes everyone's face is different. That's the thing.
yes,
Everyone's
yes.
face is different.
It's not really about your face. Eyebrows is more about your face. Eyeliners not so much.
Mm.
So I will give my professional opinion with regards to the shape that they want. So let's say if it's someone that's got very droopy eyelids, for instance, and there's almost no eyelids, and just basically the top part of the skin that you can see, for that person, I will never do a thick eyeliner, for instance, because if I do a thick eyeliner, it will mean you will see no eyelid. You will just see a solid black color over the little piece that sticks out. So for that person, I would do a small eyeliner, or suggest at least, because you still want to see the eyelid sticking out. You don't want this black eyelid. It will absolutely close the eye, and you want the purpose of the eyeliner on top is to open up the eye. So I'll always bring information in like that. For instance, if it's someone that never wears an eyeliner, I doubt it that they will go to a cat eye in any case. I would always suggest, because with permanent makeup, the chances are very good that you will need a touch up because you lose 50% after the first session. So what clients tend to do is they'll do a thinner eyeliner, and then after 6 weeks they feel more comfortable with the look, and then you've got the choice with your touch up to say, you know what, LZ, I actually feel a bit more comfortable now. We can actually do a thicker liner for the touch up. So you rather want to be careful and do finer work for the beginning, and then you can always top it up to be safe. You don't want to sit with too much ink than too little.
Yeah, no, exactly. So you get these people that come in, you do a consultation. Hey, cheers. We're not going to tell the people
Yes.
this might or might not be coffee.
Like in a mug. Ooh, wait, wrong side. Gee.
Oh, yes, it's let's say 5 p.m. And if my coffee looks like it is bubbling a little bit, it's because it's a special kind of coffee. So anyways,
Yes.
so people come in and you do a consultation. What is the consultation? Do you
A consultation.
on the shape of the eyeliner? I know with me, when I came in, we had quite a long chat before we started, because you wanted to make 100% sure what I'm comfortable with. You had a eyeliner, like almost like a regular eyeliner pencil, that you drew a shape on my eyes, and you made me sit in front of the mirror and look at it and say, how do you feel?
Yes.
Are you happy with it? Do you want it a bit more like that or a bit more like this? Tell me, was the shape, was the pencil that you put on the guide that you would have followed with the tattoo machine?
Yes, definitely. So that's why the consultation is so important. If you don't have the design right, you're not going to tattoo it right. Everybody's eyes are different. That you do get some artists out there that don't do any designing. I feel you have to do it right,
Yeah.
because sometimes, most of the times, one eye will look a little bit different to the other one, which means you might have to draw the one thicker, or more diagonal, for instance, than the other one, in order for them to look the same. And to give you a little bit of background information about when you tattoo, you always have to pull the skin tight when you tattoo. So if you pull it tight and you do it precisely the same without no designing, it's not going to look the same. So that designing before the time is crucial to get that right first. Then numbing cream goes on top of that, and then your tattooing is on top of that design.
Yes.
What's the other thing that I wanted to say? Also, with the regards to the consultation, is to obviously tell the client, everything what they are going to experience, how it's going to feel, because we all obviously want to feel, we want to know what's going to happen. I want to be prepared. I want to be mentally prepared for what's to come here.
Absolutely. And the key to a good business person, and I mean, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're a salon owner, a beautician, or a hairdresser, or a web developer and social media marketer like I am, the key to keep your clients to keep trusting you is to be transparent about what to expect. For me, for instance, doing online marketing, I can tell a client, you can expect up to, say, 100 additional followers in a month, or up to 50. If you set an expectation, that client is not going to get a big fright when things. So you told me, you were straight with me. You said, it is going to feel uncomfortable. This isn't the walk in the park.
Yes, not painful, but not comfortable.
It wasn't painful. It was awkwardly, in a weird way, uncomfortable, but not like I want to die. It was, it wasn't painful. I don't know. It's actually such a weird, this is part of the podcast where I need to explain to people what it feels like. The eye is the most uncomfortable place to do anything with. I remember as a child having my friends trying to teach me how to put,
because there is an eye.
I remember just trying to put eyeliner or mascara on for the first time in my life. I was like, what the hell is happening? So with you tattooing, you told me it's going to feel like the needle wants to come close to your eyeball or slip in under your lid. That's a normal feeling. And your eye is going to freak out. And my eyes freaked out. Do you remember? I was like,
yeah, it moves.
And
onwillekeurig. What's that in English?
Unpredictably, out of control.
Yes. You don't have control over the movement that your eyelid does, but that's fine.
Yes. And I didn't believe for a second that the needle would go into my eye. Because I actually trusted you. And I think a big thing here is that you also trust your beautician. If you're visiting someone who you know is credited,
very important,
and has credibility, it is obviously you do not want to have your eye tattooed by someone that you think could potentially be dodge. And in my opinion, I would say do not go to someone to tattoo your eye when they're cheap. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
It just
alarm bells.
It's like people asking on Facebook, looking for tattoo artists, shouldn't cost an arm and a leg and affordable. And I'm thinking, oh man, do you enjoy infection? Shouldn't get cheap things that involve medical procedures and needles. It's like, you're not going to ask your doctor, are you the cheapest doctor, before he operates on you. So it felt very uncomfortable. My eye was freaking out because obviously I'm not used to a needle on my eyelid. It's an abnormal thing that you experience. But, I could have stopped you and said, I don't want to carry on with this thing, but then what's the point of me doing this? I know what my goal is. I know why I'm doing it. I know I want the look that I want and the permanent eyeliner, and it's completely rewarding. So just tell me, Elzet, so now you've put on the numbing cream and it helps a bit so that it doesn't feel like needles sticking in your eyelids. So also tell me, when you're done, what happens now? Do you wrap a piece of bandage
Okay, so
eyes and now I have to go home blindfolded? Or what must I do? No, but you're
um,
telling other, I know what I'm
like,
telling other people.
yes, yes. Okay, so first thing that I want to add is you do get different types of numbing cream. Most artists out there use EMLA, which only has a 5% of lidocaine. I use something that you call F&E Tattooist, which has 10% in. So it is double the strength of EMLA. I have to say to you, it really, coming out of a history of, and I'm not bad mouthing EMLA at all, but starting with EMLA and then went over to something that is double the strength, it really helps a lot.
Yeah,
For your client to be in yes, now, I mean, if you do eyebrows, for instance, it just feels like you are brushing the eyebrows. It's fascinating. It is such a lovely treatment to go through. That 5% extra of numbing really makes a difference to the skin. But in any case, okay, we're with liners now. So the tattooing takes quite a while because it's the eyelids we are talking about. We are working very softly on the skin. We are working slowly to make sure. I mean, it's, if you think about it, it's a fine line, it's a fine design, working with perfection. So I would say the tattooing itself is roughly probably an hour for the top liners. Like the physical tattooing part of it is roughly an hour. Then afterwards, that is actually the most uncomfortable part that the client experience. So I wouldn't say the uncomfortable part is with the tattooing. The uncomfortable part is the swelling and the discomfort afterwards. It feels a bit raw, I suppose. It feels like being tattooed afterwards. So I normally say to people, take something anti-inflammatory, put something cold on your ice. I would take like ice blocks, close it in a Ziploc bag or close it in cling wrap. Put it on the eyes occasionally for the first 2 days just to help the swelling, and apply something. Some artists will advise putting a certain cream ointment on, a vitamin A and D ointment. I like to go with plain Vaseline. I've done the vitamin A and D ointment. I find that the Vaseline does precisely the same. It's just keeping the scabs soft so it doesn't feel hard on your eyes. And you just basically have to protect those little scabies, not pull anything off. Be careful. Do not wash the eyeliners. And then after 7 days, all of the scabies should be off. And then you only see your final results with the pigment after 6 weeks.
Mm.
So after the scabies come off, it looks very light. It almost looks like you lost all the pigment. And then it's like the color develops after that. And every week afterwards, you can see the color gets darker, darker, darker. And then by 6 weeks, then we decide, okay, am I happy with this color? Is it dark enough for me? Would I like to go a little bit thicker perhaps? And then, so anything after 6 weeks, we can do a touch up if the client obviously feels it's necessary to do it. If you do the touch up, it's going to last longer. So I would say if a client does not do a touch up, it will probably last maybe between 3 and 5 years. If you do a touch up, easily, sure, 5, 7, 10 years, depending from person to person.
Yeah, you see, that's what I wanted to ask you is how permanent is this permanent eyeliner? So if I'm going to come for my touch up by you, obviously now, what did you say, 7 weeks? 6 to 7?
6 weeks, yes. Anything after 6 weeks.
So what I wanted to know was, that's the question I had is how long? I mean, is it going to be there forever and ever and ever? But you said it could last 7, 8 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
It depends from person's immune system. So some people, I mean, your skin is going to see it as something foreign. So your skin will always try and work that pigment out. So a client will find within, every year or every 2 years or whatever, it'll slowly, gradually become lighter, lighter, lighter. And until the client gets to a stage where you feel, okay, this is looking a little bit too light for me now.
Fun.
It's time to do my touch up and just like get it nice and dark again.
You know, Elzet, you were talking about the swelling afterwards and all of that. The day after I had my eyes done by you, I had to go to a parent teacher thing at school, info session for my daughter who's 12. And now you wear a mask, so you only see this part, and my eyes were swollen. And I also just want to tell people, listen, this what you had extensive, like, I almost want to say it's the equivalent to a road, like getting jackhammered, like that. That happens to your eyelid, not like in the strength of a jackhammer, but I mean the strength of a tattoo gun. So it's normal for your eyes to be very reactive and swollen, and it's a bit painful sometimes. I will tell you what I think is good advice for that as well. So I went to school and I was so embarrassed because I'm wearing this mask and you just see thick. Now you can't even put makeup on it because it makes it look worse. You look like you're gonna have blue eyes.
Yes, and it's puffy, so
it is
you
so,
probably look like you had a good cry there.
it is so puffy. And to top it all off, I have extremely sensitive eyes. I mean, I walk around with eye drops everywhere I go. And a vein in my eyeball popped. Do you remember, Elzet? On the side.
Oh yes, how's it doing now, by the way?
100% it went away. So
Okay.
so
But I just want to add that vein was popped, and
yes,
it just
yes, I
made it.
had a sensitive vein sitting there, and
Yeah. Yes.
and so now I've got a red eye. It actually looked like someone had hit me, maybe, and I went to school like that. And I went to school. This is not a hit on people who know me, know that gender-based violence is a serious topic. It's not a joke. But I did look like someone might have hit me, or I walked into a closet, or I fell on the floor. And I just went, I didn't even greet any of the moms. And I just went and I sat in the front where no one else is sitting, and I was just waiting for it to end because I was like, and the teachers were looking at me because they were sitting in the front of the hall. So I'm pretty sure they thought, this poor divorced woman, look how sad and battered she looks. She's clearly not over her husband yet. You know how moms at schools can be. So, and to top it all off, the day after that, I went on a date. I told you I went on a date. And I went to go have a glass of wine with someone. And I actually sat down and I said to this guy off the bat, listen, I'm not an alcoholic. You know, my eyes don't look like this because I drink all the time. I didn't go into what happened to me. I just said I had a procedure done on my eyes. And he didn't even ask. He was like, oh, okay. So in any case, just to, and that will last for about 3 days. Yes?
Okay, can I add something?
Yes.
So very, very fascinating that I just want to add is that everybody's swelling is different.
Yeah.
So some people swell up quite badly, like yourself. I also, when I did my eyeliners, my husband personally didn't want to let me go out of the house because he also said, no, people are going to think I hate you or something. But very interesting that some people don't even swell up one bit. So I'll for instance say to them, listen, if you swell up, do the ice aftercare for 2 days. And then by the time they come back for their touch up, they say to me, listen, Elzet, I didn't swell, so I didn't even put ice on because I didn't have the need to put it on. So just to add that everybody's different. The difficult part is I am not able to tell how that person is going to swell by, when you arrive, because everybody's skins are different. But I suppose, when you have a client that says, listen, I've really got very sensitive eyes. Okay, yes, that's already an indication that there is definitely going to be swelling involved. So just to add that.
So from my point of view, what helped me was I took a wet cloth and I wet it with ice cold water from the fridge, and I just had it. I twisted it out and I had it. I didn't like putting ice on my face because it still felt a bit too heavy on my eyes, and my eyes are quite sensitive. So I just put a cloth on that was wet. And what you can also do is, only afterwards, I saw at Clicks that they sell these eye masks that you can put in the fridge.
Oh yes, with the gel beads.
The gel beads. And the thing is, cooling thingies on your eyes, like cucumbers, or it also helps with the puffiness from your eyes when you wake up in the morning to bring that down.
Yes, anything that's nice and cool.
Yeah, so it's not a bad idea to get stuff like that to have at home. But so that's my suggestion. If you're going to decide to do your eyes like I did, today is what? It's a week later.
Yes.
And I feel 100%. My eyes, I mean, yesterday I still had some scabies come off. It's actually quite funny because the scabs sit on your eyelashes and then you can see it.
Yeah, the last little bit struggle to come off. You actually like wanting to like pull it off your lashes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, all in all, the worst part was just having to sit through needles on your eyes. I also want to tell people I had the top part done with a cat eye and the bottom part, so that takes a bit longer than usual, and mine was about 3 hours in total lying down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and 3 hours is a good time. I normally book out 3 hours if it's top and bottom together. I seldom overlap that timing. I only overlap that time. The thicker I obviously go and the more work there is to do. Plus, yes, listen, I take my time with permanent makeup. I mean, it's not something that you push your time with. I mean, it's you're gonna sit with it for years. So it's something that, yeah, it's important obviously to take your time with that and make sure that the client is comfortable at all times. So, sometimes if clients, I mean, not everybody can lie down for a long time of a long period of time. So sometimes I even let them get up, and stretch a little bit and come and lie down again if they feel the need to. So really just go with it,
I also felt that 3 hours went by quite quickly, but you and I were chatting all the time.
Yes.
And
it helps a lot that the chatting, to take the attention off whatever's going on by the eye.
And the other thing that I wanted to ask you is, can people come and have any color done in eyeliner, or is it just
black? Almost. So black is 95% of my clients do the normal black. Dark brown, some people like to go with a dark brown to just, be a little bit softer on the eyes. Here and there, I get clients that do like a charcoal. So giving you an idea, charcoal isn't, I would say it's like a softer black, like a dark gray / soft black. But although, sometimes black sounds bad for old, let's say older people, more mature people, but they must also think that it's not like an eyeliner that sits on top of the skin. It is now an eyeliner that sits below the skin. So even though black sounds dark, it's actually still looking nice and soft. I get a lot of people that come through my door and then I show them what my eyeliners look like and tell them, that it's permanent makeup, and people cannot believe, they would never have said that it is permanent makeup. They would just think that it's a normal pencil that was taken and drawn in. So yes, very fascinating.
Can you show us what the machine?
Oh, yes, of course. And colors. I mean, sorry. I mean, you get your blues and your greens, and you even get white and purple, violets. Yes, so you do get, all your funky colors as well. I just let clients really just have to think about this carefully,
Yeah.
you know, before you choose a green or a blue. Because I mean, you're not going to sit for this color for a few years. I'm always scared that the person will get a bit gatvol, you know, bored
Yeah,
with
then
that
you're tired
color.
of the same
Or,
colors.
you know,
Sure. But I mean, let's say for instance, someone chose a red for argument's sake or purple. Can they come for their touch up and make it black on top of it rather? If they change
yes,
their mind.
yes,
You see,
you can
so
do
they
that.
still have
If you
some
do a
time to
touch
figure
up,
it out.
if you do a touch up and you want to change the color, if the color is going darker, you can do it, but you can't go lighter.
Can't go lighter. Yeah, absolutely.
That's the only problem. So that's what people always have to think of. You can't go black and then decide, no, I don't, I want dark brown now.
Once you go
You're
black,
gonna have to
you
wait.
never go back. Oh, sorry.
Precisely. Only after 3 years.
Elzet, show me, do you have one of those tattoo machines there?
Yes. So I use a normal tattoo machine. All right. This is what my power supply looks like. So all my settings. So even normal tattoo artists also use a machine like this.
Okay, that's cool.
So I must say now, yes,
No, I said that's quite
you,
cool.
did you wanna, yes, yes. So if you do a tattoo on the body, just want to show you the pen. So I haven't got my needles in here, so it just looks like a normal pen, but you get different
It just looks
kinds of, yes. So this is a, I would say like a finer pen. It's nice for me to work with. I mean, just hold it as a pen and using just normal tattoo cartridges.
is that the same thing that the normal tattoo artist would use?
Yes.
Okay.
So they would normally have a setting on their machine for, let's say, between a number 8 and a 10. That means the vibration, the stronger it is, it will more or less go between an 8 and a 10. But because we are going on the eyelids, I would, for instance, not do a strong setting like that, because I wouldn't want you to feel like I'm vibrating your eye out. So I would, for instance, do a setting of, yeah, like a 5, you know, then it's a gentle vibration feeling. Although the client wouldn't feel it's gentle, they would feel like, please do not put that needle in my eyeball, please. But at least the feeling is not like a vibrating, okay, my eye is not gonna make it out of here. Yes. Um this is a rotary machine, which is a more gentle machine, but you get, for instance, your coil machines as well, but it's more your tattoo artists that will use your coil machines. The sound of a coil is very loud. Um, so I wouldn't suggest, you know, someone going to someone that's got a coil, because the sound makes you stress out before the artist even started.
Yeah,
So rotary is nice because the sound.
yours is quite soft.
Chantal, can you remember the sound?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've got about 20 tattoos on my body. So, I mean, I know what the difference is. And yours is very, very, I mean, that's what
It
you
was
want.
very soft.
That's what you want at a salon, you know, in a place of tranquility and, you know, the smell of incense and, you know, the chimes chiming in the background. And then you don't want, you know, you want it to be.
Yes,
Don't
yes,
want
yes.
to cause a panic attack. But Elzet, I need to wrap this up. Tell me quickly, what other permanent makeup options do you offer?
So I also do 2 procedures on the eyebrows. I do powdered eyebrows. It looks like this. It sort of looks like you took a pencil and you did a little bit of a shading. All right. And then you get microblading, which is more like hair strokes.
Okay.
So hair strokes we would more do for clients that's got less hair and they want to look a little bit more natural. Microblading would be their option. If you are normally someone that like to put a pencil or eyeshadow on your eyebrows, I would rather suggest doing the powdered look rather. And then I also do lips. So I do either just,
Is
yeah,
that Once
either
you're wearing lipstick.
so yes. So a lot of problems that older mature women have is that, and not even, sometimes even with ladies 30 years plus, start losing the lip line. It's like this lip line starts to lose
Yeah, it
color.
makes it
And
collapse.
yes. So then I'll take maybe a shade or two darker than the lips, so still obviously natural, and either do a blended lip liner. So a blended lip liner is something that you'll obviously fill up that line so that you can see the beautiful shape, but you don't want to sit with the eyeliner or with a lip liner, because then it forces you to put lipstick on, and that's not where we want to go.
No.
So I would then do the beautiful shape and then blend it sort of like to the middle of the lips. And because the shade is just one or two shades darker than the lips, you can't really, it's like you can see, wow, there's something beautiful, but I can't quite so you can't see it's fake. It still looks very natural. Or just go like the full lips and get it done and over with. So most clients would do full lips, and they would go as natural as possible just to bring that shape out. Some people do it for corrective purposes, so having a smaller top lip,
Like me.
so they would want to put a little bit more, a little bit thicker, so that it's got the same
So that's in my bucket
thickness.
list. That's in my bucket list. I need to come to you for the permanent lipstick for the tattoo, and I want my upper lip to be filled in a bit more. And then our next
Yes, and then we can do a new podcast for that one.
and our next episode will either be, I mean, you said you still got you've got a new procedure you need to figure out with the whole microblading thing. I'm happy to do
Yes.
that, so we can tell people what it's like going through. You know what the thing is, quite often you want to do these procedures and it doesn't really help you go and ask the beautician, because it's not a non-biased person. It's not a non-biased person. Everyone's going to say, oh, it's not that bad. They're also not going to tell you it's freaking horrible. Here we tell the truth. Here we tell the truth. It wasn't painful. It was uncomfortable. I looked like I was beaten the next day, and then it went away again the day after that. And now I'm beautiful again. But I need to go through that process again when I go for my touch-up, and I'm really looking forward to it in any case. It's all worth it, baby. It's all worth it.
Yes.
Elzet, it was lovely having you on my show. Is there any final words, final thoughts that you would like to tell people?
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me. If you have any people asking any questions, please feel free. I think the only other thing that plays a role with permanent makeup is to make sure that they're not on strong medication like warfarin, that is like a hectic blood thinner.
Yeah.
That plays a big difference. And very interesting also is that if people are on like what do you call it again, thyroid medication,
Oh,
it's
yes.
very interesting that thyroid medication has an effect on pigment not lasting as long as it is supposed to. So just those two
Quite
things with
interesting.
regards to meds that I wanted to add.
Oh, there we go. Warfarin, that's blood thinning medication. Is the reason for that because they're going to bleed a lot?
Yes.
Yeah, you don't want.
Plus, also, if they start to bleed, it pushes the pigment out, and then the pigment also doesn't take well.
Not going to take, yeah. So it's warfarin
Yes.
and it's thyroid medication. And I'm sure
Yes.
something like hormone therapy and things like that could also play a role. I've heard.
Not so much. I get a lot of clients that's on hormone replacement therapy. That's totally fine. But
Okay.
I find, thyroid medication definitely. Let's say where eyeliners are supposed to last at least 5 years, they will already come for their touch-up after 2 years. So it's almost like half the time.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Elzet, thank you so much. I'm looking forward to seeing you.
Thank you.
Until next time. Bye.
Until next time. Love you lots.
Hi, everyone. Please remember to like and subscribe if you want to get the latest news and podcast. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
That's fine. That's fine. Extra.